It's your boy Gabe.
Noah.
And we'd like to welcome you to the first ever From Analog to Digital YouTube video. We've created this channel with the sole idea of giving you two perspectives. The analog perspective, which is yours truly, the old school perspective, and
the digital for the young school perspective.
And the thought process here is that we would have, father and son dialogue. Creating a channel, I think, we always thought would be exciting and fun. And again, it's just a way for us to express ourselves, come out, hopefully show you guys some great content, and do some cool stuff. Cool. So we're going to start off. We are doing a reaction video today for a movie that I'm super stoked about.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
It's called The Matrix Resurrections. Now, The Matrix, which came out in the late 90s, 20 years ago, blew me away with the discussions surrounding religion, philosophy. It goes down multiple rabbit holes. And then, of course, science fiction and kung fu. Really, really cool stuff. It blew me away. And then a little while ago...
Yeah, I saw it, and I think for the first time I understood it. The first time I watched a movie, I was probably about 3 years old. So I didn't really understand it much. I just thought the action scenes were cool, which it still was to this day. But the fact that I understood it, I respected it so much more, and I overall loved it. It was awesome to see in the theaters.
Yeah, really cool. We went and saw it at Dolby Atmos. In any event, we did the video this morning when the trailer first hit. We had some technical difficulties, lost the video. We're able to get it back, so we're doing a little bit of editing magic to bring it to you. And without further ado, let's dive into The Matrix Resurrection. So excited. Mine's going to be blown. I can't wait for it to come out in December. Awesome. And then after the reaction that we're going to show you, we'll jump back into the discussion and talk about what we saw and what we hope to see and all that good stuff. So enjoy, guys.
Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Have we met? If you want the truth from you, you're going to have to follow me.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me, no?
Wow. Oh, wow.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
Wow. Holy smokes. So, that was it. Man. First thoughts, I'm super happy. I think it was I think it's an updated way of looking at the Matrix, especially from what the second and third one gave you on a visual front. I think this one looks a lot more realistic in a sense. It has definitely a different art direction. What is your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's definitely going back to a little bit of the first roots, the first ideas of it. Like both Neo and Trinity both look like they're locked in the Matrix, just like how it was in the first one. We don't see any, like, you know, we do see some shots maybe where it could be in Zion, but we don't know like what's going on. Well,
yeah, and that's the right. I didn't see anything from Zion myself, but I didn't. For me, the second and third one, if I don't see anything from Zion in this one, I think I'm okay with it. I mean, if we touch on Zion, that's fine. I think the meat and potatoes of the Matrix movies is what happens, you know, within the simulation, you know, so to speak. So again, I thought it was very, very exciting. I guess what we'll do is let's talk a little bit about. We'll do like a little bit of scroll to scroll. We're not going to show it to you, but we'll talk a little bit about the trailer itself and what we saw. In the beginning, obviously Thomas Anderson, which is Neo in the simulation, he's talking to Neil Patrick Harris's character. I know Neil Patrick Harris from Doogie Howser back in the day.
I know him from How I Met Your Mother because I like that.
So Doogie Howser, he was this little kid doctor. In any event, that's again different perspectives on even this actor. Interesting. He was wearing blue glasses, so obviously for me, he's a blue pill taker. He's bought into, or at least they want you to think he's bought into the Matrix and to being kind of
definitely a lot of blue was being shown in this trailer.
Yes,
A lot of the colors are definitely very what's the word, vibrant.
Yes. Say? Yeah, and I think that was done on purpose. The blue and the reds. Typically with the Matrix movies, you'll have like a green tone to the actual visuals and then a blue tone. So the green tone is what's happening in the Matrix and the blue is what's happening in the real world. Here is a little bit different. So again, they've updated the visuals. I think what's great about the beginning of the trailer is when Thomas Anderson's saying, "Am I crazy?" My theory and what I'm thinking is that he got put back into the Matrix in some way, shape, or form. So my thought is, when he died in the third one, the last time we see Neo, he's being taken away by the machines, right? And because of the fact that we know that this is the simulations happened, you know, a multitude of times, maybe he didn't die, and maybe he's put back into the Matrix by the machines. They jacked him back in, and he's not dead. Maybe he was just knocked out unconscious. What's your thought about that?
I mean, first of all, I hope that something happens with his hair. I do not like his hair long here, if I'm being honest. But it's also funny because how much like Keanu Reeves has grown as like obviously he's getting a lot older. He's gotten older since the first movies, but it's like he looks definitely a lot different than he did in the first couple movies. And
I think, you know, he's, again, visually it's updated. And again, I don't think this trailer, I think in total was very much of a teaser trailer. They didn't tell us much about plots. They just introduced us to different characters and they teased us with, you know, something we can all discuss.
I think,
which I think is what's the magic of this trailer.
I don't think that there is like a plot to talk about. Like, it's like, even if they showed us or told us the plot, it's like we won't really know until we watch a full movie. It's going to be a lot of different ideas and theories until then.
Yeah. And again, some of the things, obviously, through the trailer, one thing I noticed is that it looks like he's got some money in the trailer. Everything, his clothes, even when he's in the bathroom scenes and he's the pills he's juggling, it looks like he's got some money. So, you know, going back to the first Matrix, when Cypher was, when he was going to get put back in, he said, "I don't want to remember anything. I want to be something important. I want to be," and then remember he eats that steak and he's like, "Ignorance is bliss." So I think what they've done with Thomas Anderson, they're putting him back in the Matrix, the machines, and they've wiped his mind, but they've given him money. And the thought process is, in terms of control, is, hey, let's make sure he's happy, he's successful, so then he won't think about being unplugged again.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think that was definitely in the first one, the reason why he came out was because he just he didn't have purpose in his life, and he wanted to go into a new direction and what he thought could help the world.
Yes. And again, to touch on some actors that we've seen is obviously Keanu's coming back. Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, I thought was very, very cool. So obviously, is she plugged back in? Did she die? We saw her die. I think that she's much more plausible that she died and he did not. And maybe this is a play. Maybe, the machines have the ability to clone. Maybe they've cloned Trinity based off of having her DNA when the ship crashed in Revolutions. Maybe they cloned her. And maybe they threw her back in, and maybe the thought is let's give her an avatar that Neo can vibe with, and
one of my
controlled.
One of my thoughts is we see later on in the trailer the shot where he's in the mirror and you can see the older version of himself. So when Trinity and Neo see each other, are they seeing what we see, or are they seeing this older person of Neo, or the older Trinity, or just another avatar ultimately? That's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Again, Carrie-Anne Moss, she's awesome. She killed it with Trinity, and it's going to be exciting to see, how they mend that. Again, they threw a bunch of stuff at us, and we're just here to kind of theorize, right? Jonathan Groff, who came from Mindhunters, guy looks awesome. What role does he play? Is he an agent? Could he possibly be, just based off at the end, could he be an updated version of the Architect? Could be. But that's, again, it's interesting. And then I'm gonna butcher her name, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, which she's a huge Indian actress, played in a bunch of things. I kind of had the thought process, she was reading the Alice in Wonderland book in the middle of the trailer. Maybe she's the updated version of the Oracle. And again, you remember in the third one when we saw the Oracle change because of the previous actors who passed away, the Oracle made it clear this is a different shell, but I'm still the same person. So again, do we change her shell to the new actress? Does Morpheus what happened to him? Is that a young Morpheus? Is that a different shelled version of Morpheus? These are some of the questions. Thoughts on that, Noah?
I mean, I think I love the new actor who's playing Morpheus. I think he's amazing. He talks, and the way he looks, he looks awesome.
He does. It's almost like they've if he is a young version of Morpheus, or even if he's a new version of Morpheus,
amazing casting. Amazing.
Unbelievable casting. The guy kills it. And again, I say the guy, and I'm butchering his name. His name's on here too, right? We're going to kill it. Yaha Abdul Mahidan. He was Candyman. He was also in Watchmen. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's bad guy in Aquaman. So great casting choice for him. I thought it was awesome. Again, I couldn't be happier. Couple things else to touch on the trailer. The fighting scenes, again, we had a lot of harking back to the original Matrix, I think, which was really cool. The fight scenes in the dojo, Trinity sitting at the computer. There's a lot of harking back, and I hope that there's a method to that madness. I kind of think there.
What if, when he comes back, what if he has the same powers that he had, and Reloaded and Revelations? Like he still has the powers of the One, right? Like, or is it going to be like where he has to rediscover his powers of the One?
So I will say this, and I think this will be a good part to leave it off because again, there's so much we can discuss about this. But if you remember at the beginning of Reloaded, when he's throwing those at the end of the first movie, he's literally annihilating Agent Smith with one hand. And then the beginning of Reloaded, what happens? He hits him a couple times, and then he says, "Oh, upgrades." So what the system did was it upgraded between the first Matrix and Matrix Reloaded. There was no way in the world like you could think otherwise from Revolutions to Resurrections that they haven't upgraded as well. So I think what we're seeing with his power is a combination of he's learning his powers again. It's coming to him.
Yeah.
But B, they've upgraded the system to kind of limit things. So I think the stuff we're seeing here is just touching on his capabilities.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
And too, when he's moving the rocket and hitting the other helicopter, that was absurd. That was insane.
Bananas. Absolute bananas. So listen, we appreciate you guys watching our first video. Again, this is a little messy, but we appreciate the time, and hopefully this will be one of many, many more to come. Make sure you
Leave a like and subscribe.
appreciate your time, guys.